put off by the application process. BBC News.
3 decades ago, Miles Ward worked on a hop farm in Herefordshire. Split shifts, tractors with lights, and when you weren't sleeping, you were in the pub. Well, today that farm is now a vineyard, so Miles began wondering what had happened to the great British hop. The first thing he discovered is that there are only 60 hop farms left in the UK. You can hear the full story in the food programme at 3:30 here on Radio 4. But first, it's time to join Tom Sutcliffe and the regulars for more mind-bending mental exercises in Round Britain Quiz.
Hello. Meeting on neutral middle ground in North Yorkshire, the Scotland team of Alan Taylor and Michael Alexander make their second appearance of this season, as do the South of England regulars Fred Housego and Marcel Berlins. In a moment, we apply the mental thumbscrews. But to ease the torment of the team slightly, they're having the text of today's questions handed to them on paper as I speak. You can see them too if you look under today's date at the Round Britain quiz pages of the Radio 4 website, bbc.co.uk/Radio 4. Before we start, let me put you out of your misery if you've been fretting over last week's teaser question. I left you with this. What slight difference might there be between the manager of Bayern Munich, the captain of Australia, and James Osterberg Jr.? This was to do with nicknames or stage names. Josep Guardiola is the Bayern Munich manager, known universally by the diminutive nickname Pep. The Aussie cricket captain, Michael Clarke, is also known as Pup. And James Osterberg Jr. is the real name of the rock singer, better known as Iggy Pop. The slight difference is therefore just the vowel change there. I hope that's clear enough. You can find the explanation in full on the website too. So let's make a start, and it's Michael and Alan's turn to go first for Scotland. So, what single article would make a record-breaking Olympian provide a salty greeting? A seat of learning once the focus of a protest turn out to be in the wrong, and an East Anglian estuary overflow. What single article would make a record-breaking Olympian provide a salty greeting? A seat of learning once the focus of a protest turn out to be in the wrong, and an East Anglian estuary overflow.
Well, I think the record-breaking Olympian is the man who has a gold postbox in Edinburgh, is Chris Hoy, the cyclist.
That's right, yep.
And the salty greeting would be ahoy.
Yep.
And the single article would be then.
Yeah. Or a.
A. Does that mean that the single article is the same single article for the next two parts of the question, or is it?
It might be.
It might be. Right. So a seat of learning is what, a university where there was a student protest, perhaps somewhere like Berkeley in California.
It's not in California, no.
The Sorbonne in Paris.
No, not in Sorbonne.
The LSE?
No. You might do better to work backwards from the other end of the question.
Turn out to be in the wrong.
Rye. A rye.
Well, you've got the right idea, but it's not. That's not the word we're looking for.
A miss.
Yes. Now, can you work your way back?
The University of Mississippi, the enrolling of black students.
Exactly right. Yes.
Yes.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Yes,
Yeah.
it's still called.
Yes.
It really is called Ole Miss. Yeah.
So an East Anglian estuary overflow would be what?
Well, a lot of rivers that flow into the sea. The Orwell is one.
There are indeed.
In East Anglia.
I thought this was going to be the easy bit, and I'm sure listeners are shouting it out.
So that would be.
The Ouse, no.
Well, what are I don't know.
The
East
Orwell,
Anglian river
the Orwell.
names.
The Blackwater.
You're not looking for a single river name here.
They're all called this.
No, it's the estuary.
It's a general term, but it's also a kind of...
Abroad.
No, it's not abroad, no.
Really?
No, that's not what we're looking... That's not an estuary. Abroad isn't an estuary.
No, it isn't.
But we are looking for an East Anglian term for an estuary, which
I see.
which is also a real name. Not just a general name, but a real name.
Real name. A flood, something.
Well, if you think about where most of East Anglia...
A wash.
A wash.
So I always think of that as being not part of East Anglia. I always think of it as being to the north of East Anglia, but still. That's a Norwich viewpoint.
Well, a wash was originally a term for a river estuary.
Yes.
Or a sandbank washed by the sea. So you add an A to the wash and you get overflow. Okay, so what single article would make a record-breaking Olympian provide a salty greeting, a seat of learning once the focus of a protest turn out to be in the wrong, and an East Anglian estuary overflow? The answer was A, because if you add A to a record-breaking Olympian, Chris Hoy, it becomes ahoy, a salty greeting. If you add it to old miss, you get a miss, which is in the wrong, and if you add it to wash, an East Anglian estuary, you get a wash, overflow. You started well there, but then you slowed up a little bit. I had to give you a couple of pushes from behind, so I'll dock a couple of points for that. So that's 4 points to you, Scotland. So, south of England. Why might an animated lion, a northern concert hall, a satanic baby's mother, and a hologram of Lord Olivier all converge on a Yorkshire seaside town? Why might an animated lion, a northern concert hall, a satanic baby's mother, and a hologram of Lord Olivier all converge on a Yorkshire seaside town?
Well, starting with the satanic baby's mother, it would be Rosemary's Baby, presumably, which with Mia Farrow in the film, and
that's right,
set in New York.
And Lord Olivier appeared as a hologram in a Cliff Richard musical called Time. So we're looking at herbs, aren't we not?
You are, yes. You've got
well, there is a concert hall, and I think it's Gateshead or Newcastle Gateshead, called the Sage.
That's absolutely right, in Gateshead, yep.
And we're on our way to Scarborough Fair, but we're not going to sing it.
That's a mercy, and it means I don't have to dock a point.
Parsley is the animated lion.
Parsley is the animated lion, yes, from the television series The Herbs. You looked confident at the beginning of that, and you had good reason to be. That's 6 points to you. Good start, south of England. So just to go through it again, why might an animated lion, a northern concert hall, a satanic baby's mother, and a hologram of Lord Olivier all converge on a Yorkshire seaside town? The answer is because from the traditional song Scarborough Fair, they are all clues to herbs. The animated lion was parsley, the northern concert hall was sage, satanic baby's mother was rosemary, and the hologram of Lord Olivier occurred in thyme. Not spelt the right way, but a homonym for thyme, the herb. So, Scotland. Time for music questions now. Listen to these pieces. They might suggest a tragic priestess immortalised by Marlowe, whose name Shakespeare transferred to someone altogether quieter, and together they're worthy of our admiration. Why? So those pieces might suggest a tragic priestess immortalised by Marlowe, whose name Shakespeare transferred to someone altogether quieter. Together they're worthy of our admiration. Why? You were conducting along there, Michael, so I take it you...
Well, I think that tune is used for a hymn, but it was originally... Well, I think it's Dido, Queen of Carthage, isn't it? Tragic priestess, no?
No.
Right.
That first piece of music, it was just an instrumental.
Well, it was the lead-in to...
Yes.
The instrumental lead-in to a piece which is not instrumental in total.
I mean, it sounded quite good. It wasn't somebody like Springsteen or somebody like that.
No, not very like Springsteen at all.
No.
Did Marlowe write anything about Medea? I tried to think of a tragic priestess. that he wrote about.
This is assuming it's Christopher Marlowe we're talking about.
Yes, you're right to think it's Christopher Marlowe, yeah.
So, plays like Tamburlaine.
Well, yes, I can't remember all the people that Tamburlaine kills.
We're not looking for a play here.
No, it's one of his classical poems. Is it like like Hero and Leander?
That's exactly what we're looking for.
Oh, well, Hero is certainly somebody in Shakespeare, one of the romance comedy heroines. I think it's Much Ado About Nothing, isn't it?
That's right, yes. Do you know who she is in Much Ado?
Is she the servant of Beatrice's friend?
No, a bit more highborn. She's not a servant, she's...
Well, she's the person who's rejected at the altar.
Exactly. She's the Leonato's daughter. And,
yes.
Falls
That's
in
right.
love and is...
her servant was mistakenly... Anyway, let's not go into that. Yes.
So you've got Hero in Shakespeare, that's correct.
Well, Hero
you've got
is
Hero and Leander. Now, can you work back from that to the pieces of music?
Well, there's a David Bowie song about heroes.
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah.
You didn't recognise that very...
Well, you didn't play very much of it.
And what about the second piece of music?
I know the hymn, but that's nothing to do with it. I think the tune's been pinched.
I think the tune has been pinched, yeah.
Yes.
This is...
Well, it must be an 18th century. It can't be a 19th century.
It's Handel.
Yes,
It's Handel.
we've got Handel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From...
Zadok.
the oratorio Judas Maccabeus.
yes.
Composed in tribute to the Duke of Cumberland and his victory at the Battle of Culloden.
Culloden, yes, we remember that.
Tactless question to put to you, but anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get
See
it.
if the conquering hero comes.
It's very good. You did get it, just as I was saying that you weren't
See if
going
the conquering hero comes. Yes.
I think the fact that you squeezed that in at the last minute probably means you get one extra point. Anyway, we played you David Bowie, the instrumental intro to Heroes, and then the chorus from Handel's Judas Maccabeus, See the Conquering Hero Comes. And we asked why they might suggest a tragic priestess immortalised by Marlowe, whose name Shakespeare transferred to someone altogether quieter, and why they were together worthy of our admiration because they were both heroes. And they led to Marlowe's poem Hero and Leander and the character of Hero in Much Ado About Nothing. I think, unfortunately, even with that extra little point right at the end, I can only give you 3 for that, Scotland. So, South of England, your music questions now. Listen to these pieces and answer the question, why would Mr. Spock be in good company here? So, Marcel and Fred, why would Mr. Spock be in good company there?
Well, the first piece was the Anvil song from Trovatore.
Correct, yeah.
I think the second piece is not so much about what it was, is it a harpsichord?
It is a harpsichord, yes.
And was the piece of music more important than the instrument?
Yes.
Oh. And I think the last piece was Wagner, but I can't remember which
It was Wagner, yeah.
So we're talking anvil. Is that the
Yeah, start where you started well. Can you strike while the iron is hot and convert it?
I can't think of the piece. I recognise part of it, but
Is it Siegfried?
It's not Siegfried, no.
The anvil. Think around anvils.
well, there's Hephaestus, there's Wayland Young.
Hephaestus is taking you a bit more in the right direction.
Yeah, this is one of the gods. This the smithy of the gods.
Wait a minute. Yes, it is Wagner, and he is a smithy, and there's that smithy song.
It's with
It's in. Oh God! No, it's not. It's not the cycle. It's
No.
the other big one. It's not Tristan and Isolde, and it's the other one that's left.
Parsifal.
No, therefore one more, and that's the one.
well, you're right. You've got an anvil.
Nuremberg.
Yeah,
The
no,
singers?
that's not what we're looking for. I'll give you the name of the singer there. It's Alberich, who is the leader of the Nibelungs. But you correctly identified
But
that he's
it's
his
smithy,
metalworking
yeah.
is the connection we're
so
looking
the anvil and the smithy,
Yeah.
but I don't know that middle one.
Well, Mr.
What about going back to Mr. Spock?
And that's Leonard Nimoy.
Yes, but it's not the actor we're looking for. It's
No,
the
it's the
character and his.
Well, he's I've forgotten what he's called now. From which
You've got a.
This is what.
Oh no, this is.
It's unfortunate that you've forgotten
Oh
because
fudge!
Because that would give us.
Oh,
We know it. Okay. Stop.
Vulcan.
so
He's the god of the.
He's thunderbolts and
he's the god of
anvil,
fire,
yeah.
and yes, and he has the attributes of the Greek Hephaestus as well. So, can you guess at the name of the one piece that you haven't identified yet?
No, I can't anyway.
Oh, I'll have to give you that. It's Handel, the harmonious blacksmith.
Oh,
The harmonious blacksmith. So, just to clarify, because I'm not sure you've said it kind of fully yet, why would Mr. Spock be in good company?
well, as a Vulcan, therefore he's another one of the godlike smithies.
very good.
So
That's what
they're all
for.
like knocking out all shoes somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. There's a kind of connection with smithing and blacksmiths. So we played you Verdi's The Anvil Chorus from Il Trovatore, Handel's The Harmonious Blacksmith, and Wagner, Alberich singing in Das Rheingold. Why would Mr. Spock be in good company here? Because as a Vulcan, he's also got a connection to the arts of fire and metalworking. Yes, I better say that Spock is half Vulcan, just to prevent a flood of letters. He's half human, half Vulcan. So we'll give you 3 for that, since you've got kind of quite a few of the components, but didn't manage to piece them together. The weld didn't take. Scotland. What material connection is there between Beowulf, the Salem witch trials, and a cry of wakey wakey? What material connection is there between Beowulf, the Salem witch trials, and a cry of wakey wakey? This is ideal.
Wakey, wakey! Billy Cotton.
Very good. Billy Cotton is.
It was a band leader. That was
That's
his
right.
signature sort of cry.
That was his catchphrase.
I should explain that Beowulf is in italics in the question. So it's the title, not the man, the title of the work. And it's a manuscript. The manuscript of Beowulf was collected by a man called Cotton. And it was shelved under the bust of the Emperor Vitellius. That's who he's called. Cotton Vitellius is the name of the manuscript, but the number I forget, I'm afraid. And that's what it's called. I spent many months looking at this manuscript. So I should get this.
Yes.
Why don't you know the number?
Because I've forgotten it. And the Salem witch trials, there was a man called Cotton Mather, who I think was one of the leaders of the prosecution, who was a New England minister. So cotton is a thread, which is a material connection.
You've tied it. Yeah, you've tied it up all perfectly. I'm very impressed. We didn't expect you to get Vitellius as well, but that's absolutely right. So, what material connection is there between Beowulf, the Salem witch trials, and a cry of wakey wakey? The material connection was cotton, Sir Robert Cotton gave his name to a manuscript of Beowulf. The Salem witch trials involved Cotton Mather. And finally, the cry of wakey wakey was the catchphrase of Billy Cotton, famous entertainer, BBC entertainer. Brilliantly done. 6 points to you. So, south of England, can you get a 6 as well with this? Joy's Gift to Elsa, The Miracle of Water into Wine, and Harry Palmer's Second Appearance. Why, together, might they be of interest to the General Registry Office? Joy's Gift to Elsa, The Miracle of Water into Wine, and Harry Palmer's Second Appearance. Why, together, might they be of interest to the General Registry Office?
Is this a question that often comes up? Not a question that comes up, a phrase as hatched, matched, and dispatched.
Yes, there's a connection there, yeah.
Right. Joy's Gift to Elsa. Joy Adamson was the famous born free. So Elsa was allowed to have her cubs and survive, so that's birth.
Okay.
Born.
Yes, born, yep.
Then, at the other end, Harry Palmer, which is a Len Deighton hero, and the second book in the series was called Funeral in Berlin. So, therefore, that is the death.
And the water into wine is the wedding at Cana.
Very good. Yeah.
So it's births, marriages, and deaths.
That's
exactly the New Testament miracle. That's right. So Joy's Gift to Elsa was the gift of freedom, born retailed in the book Born Free and the film. The miracle of water into wine occurred at the marriage or the wedding at Cana, and Harry Palmer's second appearance was in Funeral in Berlin, right up your street. That, Marcel. Why together might they be of interest to the General Registry Office? Because they take you to birth, marriage, and death. Excellent. So 6 points again. So we're high scoring at the moment. Can you keep it going, Scotland? Rudge, Timms, and Dakin can be found in the past. Crawhall, Lavery, and Guthrie could be found north of the border, while Tootles, Nibs, and Slightly could never be found at all. Who are they all? Rudge, Timms, and Dakin can be found in the past. Crawhall, Lavery, and Guthrie could be found north of the border, while Tootles, Nibs, and Slightly could never be found at all. Who are they all?
Well, they're not names of animals, are they?
No.
No.
The three, Crawhall, Lavery, and Guthrie, are painters.
Correct, yes.
They were Glasgow boys.
Very good, yep.
Different kinds of painters, actually. But interesting painters. Wouldn't mind one or two of them. Tootles, Nibs, and Slightly sound like fictional characters.
Dickens?
They are not Dickens, no.
From children.
Oh, fairies. They're in about Peter Pan.
They are in Peter Pan, but yes, exactly. So, not fairies.
No. Boys.
Boys.
The Lost
They're all
Boys.
boys. They're the
Lost
Lost Boys, yes.
They're the Lost Boys. Very good.
Rudge, Timms, and Dakin can be found in the past. There's three boys who can be found in the past. The Glasgow boys, the Lost Boys.
And the something boys.
Rudge, Timms, and Dakin.
What kind of subject area are we thinking? Is these literary? Or
they are literary, yes. I mean, they're literary in the sense that they occur in a work of literature.
Well, they're not from Barnaby Rudge.
No.
They occur, but can be found in the past. The Rider Haggard book. The Lost.
No, not that far back.
The Lost.
It sounds more modern.
No.
It sounds more modern.
Old Boys, Kingsley Amos.
Well, you're thinking more along the right lines now. It's a clue as to the word that goes in front of the word boys. So you've got Glasgow boys and Lost Boys, and these are because they're in the past, the
Dead Boys?
No. Played originally by Russell Tovey, James Corden, and Dominic Cooper. Yes, you got it as soon as I gave you the name of the actor or the actors. So, Rudge, Timms, and Dakin can be found in the past because they are the history boys, the characters who occur in Alan Bennett's 2004 play. Crawhall, Lavery, and Guthrie can be found north of the border because they are the Glasgow boys, a group of French-influenced artists working in Glasgow. turn of the century. And finally, Tootles, Nibs and Slightly could never be found at all because they were the Lost Boys, so they were all boys. You did pretty well on that, but I think I had to give you a bit of assistance right at the end with the History Boys. You struggled a little, so you get 5 points for that, Scotland. Now, South of England, your final question. With nails, murder must advertise and double indemnity. Extract the centre from each one and plant a tree. With nails, murder must advertise and double indemnity. Extract the centre from each one and plant a tree.
Right, I think it's authors of those books. Double Indemnity, the author is James M. Cain. So that's M
right.
is the centre. Murder Must Advertise is of Dorothy L. Sayers. So that's the L in the middle. So it's something LM, from which I deduce that the tree is an elm tree.
You've got the right tree, but now...
I haven't quite got with nails yet. Something E, someone E something.
Yeah.
Not a clue. Sorry.
Not a clue?
I'm out to lunch on this one.
What does With Nails suggest to you? Any other connection there?
Well, there was a film called With Nail and I.
Yes.
But
that actor who's yes,
E. Grant.
Yes, Richard E. Grant.
Richard E. Grant. Yeah, you finally got there. So, With Nails, Murder Must Advertise and Double Indemnity, 3 book titles. You extract the centre from each one and plant a tree, we said. You take the name of the writers in each case. With Nails, Richard E. Grant. Murder Must Advertise, Dorothy L. Sayers. And then finally, Double Indemnity is James N. Cain. So that gave you E, L, M, and that was the tree that you planted. Again, I just had to give you a little nudge over the edge. I can't give you the full 6, but I will give you 5, South of England.
So saying about that, I first went on a different one, which was Edward G. Robinson, Fig, F-I-G, being the tree that I first thought of.
OK, and so that means at the end of today's contest, the South of England have won with 20 points and Scotland are the runners-up with 18. Well done to you. There'll be a revenge fixture between those two teams towards the end of this year's series. Northern Ireland play Wales next week, so I hope you'll be listening then, and have a think about this puzzle, which you can also see on our website between now and then. What might connect Needles and Pins, Paranoid and Martha's Harbour? What might connect Needles and Pins, Paranoid and Martha's Harbour? It's not obvious. I'll tell you next time. Until then, goodbye.
Round Britain Quiz is chaired by Tom Sutcliffe and produced by Paul Bajoria. By clicking on today's date from the Round Britain Quiz pages of the Radio 4 website, you can read Tom's closing question again at your leisure. You can also find the solution to his question from last week. And there you'll also find a link to a free download of the programme too. Can there really only be 60 hop farmers left in the UK? Miles Ward will be investigating in the food programme in a minute. But first, here's a taster of this year's Wreath Lectures, which begin tomorrow.
Tips for aspiring artists.
You'll never have a good art career unless your work fits into the elevator of a New York apartment block.
Lessons on mystifying your work.
Visual becomes visuality. Global becomes globality. Potential becomes potentiality.
Grayson Perry lifts the lid on the art world.
And I've called this series of lectures Playing to the Gallery, and not, you may note, sucking up to an academic elite.
The Wreath Lectures 2013 begin on BBC Radio 4 tomorrow morning at 9.
Laurie Taylor continues his look back at 50 years of cultural studies at 4 o'clock this afternoon.